Oh, okay. Oh, let me admit this person. All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. As you know, we do this every week. Um, a couple of housekeeping rules, just so you all know. Rep Morgan's not here today. He's actually currently in a city council meeting. They called a special meeting last minute, so he is currently in that. So he will not be joining us unless they finish early. But when I hopped off the meeting about 10 minutes ago, they were on slide 12 of 113. So I don't see that happening, but last week you missed me and Angela, and this week you're gonna miss him. It's just how life goes sometimes, right? Um, but as you guys know, we don't have a guest speaker today, so this is just going to be an opportunity for you all to ask questions, get some information. I do have a lot of updates for you all, which I'll get to. But I see a lot of new people, so welcome to everybody that's never been to one of our virtual meetings before. In case you came in a little late, just want you to know this is being recorded. It will be posted online later, probably tomorrow morning. And yeah, thank you all for joining us. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get to all of my announcements, and then we'll open it up for questions or whatever you all want to talk about. Does that seem good? Perfect. Okay, so all of my announcements today are COVID related. It's been kind of a crazy week. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news, seeing what's going on. We're having a tremendous spike in our numbers. It's not a good thing, it's a bad thing. And the city is taking precautions to try and slow the spread. There was a press conference today at 1 o'clock. The mayor and Dr. Ocranza, who is our health authority, as well as the CEO of UMC and the medical director of Del Sol Medical Center, all spoke about what, basically what it looks like for us and what we need to do to kind of slow the spread. So I'm going to share that information with you all today. One of the things that's kind of hard, I don't know if you guys saw today, we announced over 1,000 positive cases. A lot for one day. Of course, some of it's a little backlogged because we have different testing sites. We have the city sites, we have the state sites, we have the local sites, we have people that go to their doctor's office. So it's a lot of sources, but still 1,000 cases in one day is a lot of cases, and that's not a good thing. So one of the main things that they were letting us know at the press conference is we cannot shut the city down or go into a mandatory quarantine because the governor is not allowing it, and he's the one that would be able to do that. So the mayor doesn't have that authority. Our health authority doesn't have that authority. So I know there was a lot of rumors floating around. I saw on social media, people were like, Friday, the city's shutting down. That's not true. It's not true, but that doesn't mean stop being proactive and stop taking precautions. What we are doing, all league sports in the city have been canceled for 2 weeks, but that's probably going to be extended depending on how our numbers go. All city parks are closed again. The only thing that's open in the parks is like the walking paths or the trails. So you will be able to go out and walk and get your exercise that way. You just can't go have a party in the park. Hopefully you weren't doing that anyway, but I know people were because we've issued over 1,000 citations for that. So just keep that in mind. They're also encouraging people. 37% of our cases are coming from people going shopping. So if you need to go get groceries, that's totally fine. That's okay, but don't take your whole family with you. It's best if you just take one person, go in, get what you need, and get out. Just so we're not making big crowds in one area. We're trying to make it, the mayor said that he wanted this to be as normal as possible, but of course it's not normal because we can't do the things that we used to do. So just be careful out there, wear your mask. The mask mandate is still in effect. There's certain exceptions to it, but just be aware. Wear your mask, wash your hands, all of that fun stuff. We're not out of the danger zone, or as the doctor said, we're not immune, and we never will be. So we just have to do our part to try and not, spread this any further. I know a lot of people have been impacted by COVID. I'm actually supposed to attend a funeral tonight, or a virtual funeral. So please just keep that in mind. You don't want it to be your loved one or your family member. Rep Morgan mentioned last week about his family member that was sick. She did pass away. So it's just been it's been a hard week. So please wear your mask, wash your hands, It's the least we can do to save someone's life. Okay, so as far as that COVID update, I also want to let you guys know some good news. I know, Kim, you were mentioning you had gotten a COVID test and she was negative, so that's good. But she did have to wait 3 hours for a test. We understood that there was a lot of issues with that. And so the city actually just opened 3 new testing sites, and one of them is in Northeast off of Kenworthy at the Region 19 Center, which is across the street from the old Cohen Stadium. So that one's open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and they can do up to 500 tests a day. So if you want to go somewhere close to Northeast, right off of Kenworthy, you can go get tested. You don't have to have an appointment, and you do not have to have symptoms to get tested. If you because a lot of people are asymptomatic. So if you feel you may have been around somebody who had COVID, or you just are uneasy about it and want to know for sure, go get tested. We'd rather you get tested and it be negative than you not get tested and you be positive and you be spreading it to other people. So please go and take advantage of that. There's also 2 other sites. There's one on the east side, and I don't remember where the third one is, but you can find all the testing locations on epstrong.org. And one of the new features that we also included is now you can make an appointment online. So before you had to call and get an appointment, and it was really hard because our phone lines were getting backed up, but now we got it online, so you can go online and schedule your appointment right then and there for the ones that require appointments. Like I said, there's city sites and there's state sites. Some require appointments, some don't. So you just have to look at where you want to go and figure out the requirements for that location. So please, epstrong.org has all the information you need. So please use that it's a really great resource. And that website actually just won a national award for being one of the best COVID-related sites in the nation. So we're really lucky to have that site. Just in the last week, they've done over 32,000 COVID tests in El Paso. That's a lot of people getting tested, but it's a good thing. The more people we get tested, the better off we'll be in the long run. But also please remember, I know we've had an issue. People think, oh, I got tested and I was negative, so I'm never going to get COVID. That's not the truth. You could test negative today and then go see someone who has COVID and catch COVID. So please just be careful of that. Be cautious of that. I know I'm like talking COVID a lot, and I know I sound like a broken record, but I just want you guys to understand the state that we're in, because it's not a good one. So just continue to stay home, stay safe. If you need to go out, do it safely, quickly, and then get back home. That's the best I can tell you. I also want to talk about Halloween. I know Rep. Morgan should have mentioned it last week because I gave it to him as part of his notes, but trick-or-treating is prohibited this year, so you can't do door-to-door trick-or-treating. I know a lot of people were upset about that, but that it just is what it is. You can do drive-by trick-or-treating. A lot of people have been like, can we do a trunk-or-treat? You can do a variation of a trunk-or-treat. You can't have people walking to your car. You have to kind of drive through, and the candy has to be pre-packaged. So there's a lot of rules on that, and you can find all the information at epstrong.org on Halloween and Dia de los Muertos yes and no's. So please, like I said, use that resource. It's a really good resource. So that is all of my updates. I know it was like a lot of COVID, but let me know what kind of questions you guys have, what you all want to talk about. I know a couple of you just joined, so I want to let you know, if you just joined, Rep. Morgan is in a city council meeting right now, so he's not going to be here tonight. He's serving as the representative for you guys at council right now, so he won't be here, but you get me, unfortunately, and Angela. So what questions do you have? If you want to unmute yourself, *6 if you're on the phone, and then little mic if you're on the computer. Any questions? Anything you guys want to talk about? Nothing? I'm scared. Oh my gosh, a lot of people are joining in. All right, well, how was Sam Rodriguez's presentation last week? What did you guys think of that? It was good? Did he answer all your all's questions? Sam Rodriguez is one of the best staff people I think we have at the city. He's very smart, and he knows how to do his job. Yes, Kim?
He was awesome because he actually mentioned the park. Mm-hmm. And the one part that we're working on inside our HOA, the Redstone Rim, that one little part that faces against the the gate right now. So he
Okay.
was going into a little detail saying, as of the Friday before, that they had made an agreement with the landowner who actually owns that one little piece of land. So he was going to keep me abreast, and then you filled me in a little bit of who the city's person is. So I'm just waiting to hear back. And then he said they're working on the one at Redstone Mesa and White Hill that was, going to be the parking lot. So, but he was definitely pro for getting some security out there, because his assistant, before Tommy's assistant was online last week, and he remembered being out there and how dark it is and stuff. But Sam did mention that due to the Texas Parks and Wildlife grant, the dog park is going to continue to go through, and so is the all abilities play area.
Right.
Because their grant money, and it won't take money away from the city budget right now to water the big fields. That those will continue to be on hold right now. So I made a call to Tammy and let her know that the dog park is moving forward, and she is hoping to get Vino out there for the ribbon cutting.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been talking to her almost daily, so we're hoping we can, just depending on how COVID goes. We'll be.
They're moving dirt actually behind, where I am. They're moving dirt behind those homes. They're like making big mounds of like fresh dirt. I see dump trucks coming out.
That's good.
So I don't know if that's the start kind of, planning out and lining and staking and stuff like that. But he was fantastic. He was like, yes, we're working. I know exactly. I mean, he just brought it up himself in his slideshow.
Perfect. That's good.
Yes. So
and if you all missed last week's meeting, you can find it on YouTube and on Facebook if you want to watch it. He gave a presentation of not all, but most of the District 4 projects in our capital improvement program. And just a side note, so you all know, he's also the director of our airport. So he's kind of a multifaceted staff person who just knows everything. I go to him for everything because he just has all the answers.
Yeah, he mentioned that there's 16 projects deferred. One was for us because the water for the fields can't afford to maintain right now. Otherwise, they'd have to raise taxes to pay for that. And that it's always the financial impact due to what's going on with COVID. But he did a whole process on scope and scheduling in his presentation for each project and his exact team, and how they now have a Six Sigma in the team now as well at CID. So I thought to people who haven't heard, that's like streamlining the process so much faster. And he broke it all down on who is all part, and there's 9 different people who are part of the CID process for those who weren't online last week. And he said that includes the user departments, which isn't just who uses it, who's like would clean it up, which would be Parks and Rec. That includes streets and maintenance to maintain the utilities.
Exactly. Yeah, and I want to make it clear, all this information is online. We always get calls like, the city's not transparent. All of this information is online. You just have to look for it, and you're welcome to call our office. We're happy to help you find it. His department actually is probably one of the best departments that puts out quarterly and annual reports. And when I mean reports, I mean like 300-page documents because it's citywide. But he's very good about making sure that the information is there for the public. So if you guys ever have a question about any project, feel free to call us, or you can look online for those reports. And we also have that link in our newsletter to that report. So you're welcome to look at it because it's a lot of information. So please help yourself to that information because there's some good information about some really good projects happening in Northeast. Were there any other questions, comments, topics you guys want to talk about?
What's the project on Will Ruth with that drainage deal? Is that still ongoing or what?
Yes, sir. It's good to see you, Mr. Brown. Yes, so that project is still happening. Right now, you'll probably see there's a fence around it. They're doing some pre-work. I know Renee is on the phone if he wants to give you like a total update, but that project still is in the works. I don't know. Renee, did you want to comment?
Yeah, sure. Hi, this is Renee Leon, Legislative Liaison with El Paso Water. The Will Ruth project still is on track. We have delayed construction for a year just to coordinate funding, but we've moved ahead with all of the necessary property purchases. And now we're starting on the excavation of materials that were dumped at the site. We've had a lot of residents tell us that over the years they remember the area being a dump site. So we knew that going into it, that some materials would have to be excavated. And like Lindsay said, we have an area that was fenced off where we found some materials that we need to get out of the ground before any construction. So that's continuing. And then I think within the next fiscal year, we should start construction on the project. Design is underway, and that should be wrapped up pretty soon. And hopefully in the next fiscal year, we'll have enough funding to start construction.
Perfect. That's a good update.
And it's a good project. It's going to result in about 500 to 600 homes being removed from the floodplain, which means those homeowners no longer have to pay flood insurance, which is a considerable cost savings for them.
It really is. We in 2018 we removed a lot of homes and it saved over $7 million. So flood insurance is very expensive. If you carry it, you know that. So this will help a lot. Did that answer your questions, Noel?
Yeah, it was very good. Appreciate that. I was wondering what else, like on the corner of Kenworthy, we got a shopping center on one side and where they tore down the bank building on the other side. Mm-hmm. And there's something going on there, but you don't know what it is.
Yes, so that is on Trans Mountain and Kenworthy. They tore down that old restaurant building. That is a developer is currently, we haven't been given official notice of what it's going to be, but it's probably going to be a restaurant. And then across the street where the tennis courts used to be, that is a Mimco property, and that's going to be a shopping center that's going to have some storefronts as well as new restaurants. We don't know what those are yet. Trust me, if I knew, I would let you know. But it's some exciting stuff, some good developments.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I got a question via text from Nancy. She says, has the mall been canceled by Cohen? The mall, there was never a mall, but if you're talking about the plans to redevelop the Reimagining Cohen plan, it hasn't been canceled. That plan is still in effect. I know we did mention that the PD headquarters is going to be on the Cohen site, but that is going to be on the back 20 acres. So the plan that you all saw that we developed with you all as a community, the master plan development, that only sits on 30 acres. So the police headquarters is going to go on the back 20 because the entire thing is 55 acres. So no, the plans haven't been canceled or anything like that. They're still moving forward. We're in the process of securing a developer right now. So those plans that you saw are still going to happen. They're still going to come to life. The police headquarters will be in the back portion of that. Does that make sense? Let's see. Does that answer your question, Nancy? See if she texts me. She also says that the sign at that restaurant says it's going to be a Starkey's. I don't know what that is. Does anybody know what that is? No. If it is, that's cool because it's something that El Paso doesn't have, I would suppose. Like I said, so keep in mind with developments, they're mostly private. The city doesn't really get involved except for with zoning changes. So that's why people are like always calling us like, what's going on here? And we may not know. It's not because we're like out of the loop. It's just because the city doesn't really get involved in those kind of things. The private developer comes in, buys the land, builds it, gets with the city to make sure they have the permits and everything, but we're not really involved in that process. So we can always find out for you, but we all may not know right off the top of our head. Any other questions? I'm very nervous that you guys are so quiet tonight. Is it because you miss Sam? Yes, we're just gonna go with that.
Hi, Lindsay.
Yes,
it's Renee Leon again. I just wanted to take the opportunity to remind people in the meeting that El Paso Water still has a COVID assistance program for customers who have fallen behind on bills due to any economic impact from the pandemic. We're just trying to remind people that if you may not need it, you may know friends or family who do. We encourage you to apply for the program. There is funds available, and that funding is set to return to the federal government if it's not used by the end of the year. So we'd rather put that money to good use and help people pay down their water bills rather than have it go back to the government. I will post information in the chat where they can click on the link to look at more details on eligibility criteria and contact information on how to apply for the program. But please, if you know anyone who is struggling, we do have some limitations on income. But we have relaxed the documentation criteria where you have to prove that you have some economic impact. Now we're just requiring an affidavit where you state that you've been financially impacted, because during the course of the program, we realized some independent contractors or self-employed people had trouble proving, they didn't have a layoff letter, they didn't have any letter showing they're fired. Their business just dropped due to the pandemic. So we understand it was difficult to prove. So we've relaxed that restriction.
Awesome. Yeah, please take advantage of those if you know anybody that needs help. There's a lot of different programs. El Paso Water has a really good program. El Paso Electric has a program. If you know somebody that needs help paying their rent, there's a eprenthehelp.org has a really good program. So there's resources out there, and please remind your friends and family if they're struggling to pay their utility bills right now. We're in a weird time, but the bills aren't going away. They're just piling up. So make sure that they're aware of that, because at some day those bills are going to come due, and we don't want them to have a big burden at that time. So make sure they, like Renee said, he'll provide the link and everything, that they visit those sites and see if they qualify so they can get the help now, so it's not an even bigger problem later down the road.
Yeah, I think that's an important point to make, Lindsay, that currently we're not doing any disconnections due to non-payment. Mm-hmm. But like Lindsay said, eventually that moratorium is going to be lifted and we will resume disconnections. We have promised to work with everyone who reaches out to us. So even though they may not have the money to pay their bill in full, we'll work with them to put them on a payment plan that they can afford so that they can catch up eventually. And even people who don't qualify for this program but have still been financially affected, we'll still work out a payment program for you. But please, you have to contact our customer service department so we can get that ball rolling. And I'll post the information on the website shortly here.
Awesome, thank you. And yeah, I think that's true with all utilities. All of them are asking you, don't be afraid to reach out to them. They're not going to demand payment from you or anything like that. Reach out to them and let them know, hey, I can't make my bill this month, because all of them have programs in place to help. A lot of people think corporate greed and all this stuff, but that's not the case at all right now. They're very much trying to help and willing to help. So please let your friends know, reach out and ask. All you have to do is ask. Miss Betts, did you have a question?
Yes, I was going to say that I noticed that the lot across the street on Kenworthy and Trans Mountain from the old Bank of America, it has a sign on there that says "Coming soon, Hobby Lobby." There where the tennis court area was. So that will be an addition, a very nice addition to the Northeast.
Absolutely. I haven't been out there. I've been at home, obviously, so I haven't been to the Northeast in a while, but I'll definitely get information and confirm that for you all, because that would be really good news. I know a lot of you are always asking for some sort of craft store, so I'll make sure to get that information verified for you all. And if that's true, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's what the sign up there says. So,
awesome.
But I mean, it's a big lot. I'm sure not all of that is going to be Hobby Lobby, but Hobby Lobby will be in that area.
Perfect. Yeah, what I'll do too, I'll reach out. I know that's a MIMCO project, so I'll reach out to Bob Ayub. He's their PR person, and I'll ask him, because he normally keeps us updated, but I think with COVID, it's been kind of crazy. So I'll reach out to him and make sure I get that information for you guys officially. Maybe we can have him come out to a meeting and update you all.
Sounds great.
Thank you for that information. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Hey, Lindsay, it's Kim.
What's up?
Sam had mentioned a drive-through flu shot that was supposed to be 2 days ago, but at the zoo. Did that take place?
Yes, it did. It was on the 20th from 12 to 6. Over, I think, 1,500 people got their flu shot that day.
Do you know if they're going to do that again? Have you heard from the health department or anything?
We haven't heard anything, but I'm going to make an assumption it will probably happen again.
Okay.
This year, the health department has been really big on making sure everybody gets their flu shot.
Okay.
And I know they've done, I think, 3 events now. So I'm sure there'll be more coming in the following weeks. So yeah, I'll let you guys know as soon as we have information on that. And please go get your flu shot. They'll give you a little sticker that says that you're cool for getting it. So please do that. If they have another one, I'll let you guys know, and please go take advantage. It's completely free. The city's offering them. We got federal funds to give out free flu shots. So it's important to do always, but this year even more so.
Don't forget to vote. Early voting was really easy.
Okay, let's see. Perfect. Sorry, I'm getting messages, so I'm trying to keep up. So we have okay. Any other questions? No? Are you guys sure? Early voting is happening. Please make sure you go out and vote. I know, Kim, you just mentioned it. Sorry, I was reading as you were saying that. Please go out and vote. I know we've had record number of voters going out in the first week and a couple days of early voting. So keep that up. I'm so proud of everyone. I wish we had this much participation always, but that's okay. We'll take what we can get. Go out if you need to know where you. This year, everything's kind of different, so you can vote anywhere in El Paso, early voting and on election day. So if you need to find a place where you can go vote, there's epcountyvotes.com. All the locations are there. There's, I think, like 32 locations throughout the city that you can go vote. And I haven't voted yet. I'm going on Saturday, but I know that they have a little process to be COVID friendly as well. Kim, you raised your hand?
Yeah, I went to Arlington Park on Saturday, and from the time I stood in line till probably the time I voted was maybe 20 minutes, and the line got even longer around the park. But they're going to give you this baggie. It's a little Ziploc, and inside is a Q-tip and 2 wipies, and then it kind of looks like a finger covering for your index finger. Mm-hmm. And you have to roll it down. Anyways, so you have to have that on before they let you in to vote, at least at this location. And we all got a big chuckle out of it and everything. But so it, for a lot of y'all, I know, like Miss Natty and where everybody lives, it was so easy. You can just park still on the side of the road and walk to vote. And this was Saturday, and this was like at 12:30, and they were just moving people right along. They did not ask for my voter's registration card, just my valid form of ID. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So, and then they give you more stuff, and then out you go.
Awesome. That's really great. That actually reminds me, if you guys want to do a mail-in ballot, you have to request your ballot by tomorrow. And that's not postmarked, like they have to have received the information for the request by tomorrow. So if you're planning to vote by mail, you need to have requested that yesterday. So please make sure you do that. If you need their number to call them and get the information, we can get it for you. Please, Angela, can you look up that phone number and put it in the chat, actually? Thank you. But yeah, so please, if you have questions, EP County Votes, they've been really great. They've been really responsive. I've called them a couple times with constituents calling us with issues. They've been really great. So please, please, please reach out. Yes, Nancy, thank you for bringing that up. She just texted me. If you're mailing your ballot in, don't just put a forever stamp on it. You need to put at least 70 cents worth of postage on it because it's kind of hefty. So to make sure that it doesn't get returned back to you, make sure you put enough to pay for it to make it to where it needs to go. And we also have a location downtown, if you want to drop off your mail-in ballot, you can do that downtown at the county courthouse on San Antonio. Angela just put into the chat all the information on where the elections department is located and their phone number. So if you guys have questions, comments, you can call them. Perfect. Any other questions? Okay, well, you guys know if you don't ask questions, I'm going to just keep talking. So I'm going to let you guys know that I've been working really hard on the District 4 website, so elpasotexas.gov/District 4. If you visit it, you can find a lot of different things, including a list of all of our completed projects, in the works projects, and upcoming projects in District 4. It's a long list, and it's very detailed. I tried to make it as detailed as possible. So please, 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 if you want to know anything that's going on in Northeast, go visit it. I worked pretty hard on it, not to brag up myself, but there's a lot of information on there. Angela's rolling her eyes at me. There's a lot of information on there, so please go look at it. If you have questions, reach out to our office. I know it's not all the projects, but I tried to put the ones that you guys ask about a lot so you can at least know where we are and what we're doing. I think a lot of times people think that we just, especially with COVID working from home, that we're just like sitting here not doing anything, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. It's been a crazy busy 7 months. Projects are still being rolled out. Meetings are still happening, just a little bit differently. And I think working from home, we kind of lose a sense of time. I know I've noticed I've been working till like 8 or 9 at night and then being like, oh, wait, the workday ended 3 hours ago. So we're here for you all. You guys have our number. You have our email. You know how to get a hold of us. So if you need anything, feel free to reach out. Are you sure you don't have any questions? I'm so nervous that you guys are so quiet. I feel like something really bad is going to happen after this.
Hey, Lindsay, it's me.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, remember the two gentlemen? Were they from residential, about like structures that are planning? Was it planning and zoning?
Planning and inspections.
And then I talked to that when that was online about the two trouble we have here in our area. Do you have any feedback regarding that? That was about a month ago.
I don't, but I think that was Nathan Walsh, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll I don't have the information handy, but I can reach out to him and have him follow up with you.
Yeah, that would be great, because the one about the height of the bushes, for the right of way and you can't see, of course they have just like gotten even taller. Right. And so, okay. And then the other thing, I'm really concerned about the structural damage of the home.
Okay. That one I think is a little bit more complex because it's on private property.
Yeah.
But I'll make sure he follows up with you.
Okay. Yeah, and there's a junk car there too. That's why I sent you that picture.
Yes, I did get that. I'm sorry I didn't respond to you. It was one of those things where I did it.
No, that's okay.
Then I didn't respond. I responded in my head, so. Yes, we're taking care of that one for that junk vehicle.
All right, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Of course. All right, anything else you all want to talk about? Questions you may have? If you're online and are trying to speak and we can't hear you, you'll have to unmute yourself, the little microphone at the top right. If you're on the phone and you want to speak, *6 to unmute yourself. No? Okay, well, okay. Oh, let's see. Sorry, people are texting me questions, so I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not being rude. Okay, Carlene, are you still on the meeting? She just texted me that the Mimco property is going to have a CSL plasma on it, that it's not going to be a Hobby Lobby. Like I said, I'll double check for you all and I'll get that information. I'll get it from planning to find out what exactly is going there so we can get that information out to you all so you'll have that information. Thank you for that, Carly. All right, well, It's only been 30 minutes. Are you guys shy because Sam's not here? Is that what's going on? Or it's just been an uneventful week? All right, well, I mean, I don't want to cut it off so short because I don't know if you
I
guys.
think it's fatigue. I think we're all just so drained. And like for myself, it was the longest 3.5 hours, and I knew I had to get tested because I came in contact at my gym, you know, that day at that class. And I kept calling you going, do you have any other places? And I literally just had to, thank goodness, take bottled water and something to eat. And luckily it was really nice outside, but that was the longest 3.5 hours of my life.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, and I know the lines, don't let them discourage you. I know it's hard to wait in line, but please, if you think you may have COVID, please go get tested.
And the one neat thing, if you're terrified about any type of touching papers or filling anything out, if you have a smartphone, they're going to have you use your QR code, and then they'll bring it right to your car, and you QR code it, and it opens up all of the information that is needed to fill it out, so that when you go and they go to pull you up and it has all those questions already answered, they tell you which line to go into, and it's already done. So everything was contactless, except for when she
did the test. Yeah.
Did the test. But the test was like 5 seconds.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. But they close off at like 2:30. They stop seeing cars. There's a police officer there who won't let anybody else in. And that's also a voting location too, by the way.
Yeah, and it's also an issue because they only have a certain number of tests per location, so they don't want you to wait in line and then be told, sorry, we're out of tests. Yeah. So that's probably why they do that as well.
Yeah. But have patience if you have to go, but go. I mean, I was freaked out. I will not lie. I was really nervous. Like, oh my gosh, was I sitting next to her? Did we breathe on each other? So, but when I made the call, if you go to the state, they will send you an email. They don't call you first. They will send you an email that you have to call a nurse, and you call this number, and you wait, and then she starts verifying who you are, and then she goes down a list of all these questions. At first I was getting nervous, like, oh my God, do I have it? Because she kept asking. And then at the end she's like, oh, and your test is negative. And I was just like,
make you go through all that stressful stuff.
You had me worried. But so I had it done Friday so people can hear the time. So I had it done Friday afternoon, and I got the results back Wednesday. So she did say 3 to 5 days.
Yeah, and depending on the site you go to, your wait time, your turnaround time might be different. If you go to your doctor, sometimes they can get it to you in 24 hours. So we've gotten
my doctor's not doing them.
Yeah, and it depends on the doctor too. We've had some people call our office like, why do I have to wait forever to get my results? And at the end of the day, it honestly just depends on where you get tested. A state site is going to take longer than a city site, and a longer than going to your doctor. So
yeah,
figure out where you want to go and how long you want to wait.
And go.
And remember, if you get tested, please stay home and isolate until you get your results, because getting tested doesn't mean you're in the clear. You know what I mean? So please hold tight, get your results, and then make decisions based on that. All right. Anybody else?
Hi, Lindsay. This is Beth. Yes, Lindsay, can you hear me? This is Beth.
Yes, go ahead.
How are you all doing? I'm sorry, I don't know what in the world happened, but I can't pick you up off the phone. I can hear you all, and I can't see you on the computer except a bunch of letters. So I don't know. But anyways, I found this number 212-0783 Durwood GenPath, and I got results of my COVID testing in 24 hours. It is by appointment, and it's on George Perry Street over off Global Reach. I don't know if they're still doing it, but if you drive up, it is self-testing, but they help you through it. And yes, you can know within 24 hours what your results are.
Yes, and that's one of our city-run sites. And you do have to have an appointment for that one, which can be hard to get, but you can do that online now. And yeah, they're a lot quicker than the
Oh.
state sites. Hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because having to wait in line, it's too long. It's crazy.
yeah. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier because I know I gave you guys a lot of information, but now throughout the entire city we have 50 COVID testing sites. So there's a lot of options. Some of
Oh,
them are drive up, some of them are appointment. So it's a lot of options, but just go to epstrong.org and figure out what works best for you.
another question I have is, what about those ones who don't have a car? Because there was a friend, she only went on the bus. She went to the Tobin on by bus, and they said you have to be in a car for us to test you. What about those people?
So originally the city did have a walk-up site at Tobin, but since we're getting our funding for this from the state said we couldn't do walk-ups. So if they have to do a walk-up, we're letting them know to call the health department directly and just say, hey, I can't, I don't have a vehicle, and they will get you in somewhere and let you know where to go. It really depends on the demand for that day. But if you call the health department directly, they'll figure out where to
Okay.
have you go. So
Oh, okay.
walk-up is an option if you know somebody that doesn't drive or just doesn't have that option. It is, they just have to kind of go through one more little process.
Oh, okay. So call the health department. Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Any other questions?
Yes, Lindsay, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, one last thing. I just want to tell you, don't second guess yourself. No, nothing bad is going to happen. It's just that you are very thorough and you give out a lot of information, and it's very thorough information. And you answered a lot of questions that maybe people would have wanted to ask, but they didn't need to ask because gave the information. So you're doing a great job. Don't
Oh,
second guess, okay?
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Sam makes fun of me because I'm always like, don't forget to tell them this. Here's this information. Oh, we just got this information. Put that out. And he's like, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. And I'm like, they need to know these things. I'm kind of like crazy when it comes to that. So
Yeah, you do an excellent job. Excellent.
thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. All right. Any other final comments? And like I said, if you guys have something you want to talk about, we can talk about it. This is a open session. All right. Well, we're not quite at an hour, but I don't want to keep you on all on here just for me to keep asking if you have any questions. So, you're welcome to hop off if you would like. I'll stick around in case anybody has questions, but thank you all so much for joining us. You all know we do this every Thursday, 5 o'clock, same place. We haven't confirmed our guest speaker for next week, so sorry about that. I don't have who that is yet, but we'll still be here regardless of who that is, if we're able to confirm. So please join us. Let your friends and family know we're here. Remember to vote, please. Remember to wear your mask. Yes, and FYI, Tuesday is Sam's birthday. If you guys want to send him a little birthday gift, or not gift, but like a message, he's going to be mad at me for telling you that, so you didn't hear it from me. And yeah, so just FYI.
He's turning 100.
Yes. Yeah, he's actually turning 55. So Angela aged him just a little bit. But
He's going to so kill you.
I know,
Yeah, he is. It's okay.
He's gonna be really.
But I saw him actually out polling. So, and he was feeding his guys. So he's definitely taking care of his poll guys and everything at each location. So that was really cool to see.
Awesome. Yeah, he's been working them. He gets annoyed with me because I'm always bothering him, and he's like, I'm busy. I'm a very needy staffer because every time I need something, I just call him. So he's like, just make a decision. I'm like, okay. But yeah, he's been very busy. So, but if you guys have questions, you can reach out to him. You can reach out to the office. Just keep in mind, if it's campaign related, me and Angela can't touch it per city ordinance. So if you're calling to ask us about the campaign, we're not being rude when we're like, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you. You have to call the campaign number. So just keep that in mind. We would love to be able to answer those questions, and we probably have the answer, but we just can't. So you'll have to, and I can't even give you that information, so I'm sorry, but you're going to have to find it on your own. But our office is still here. If you have anything District 4 related, we're happy to help. And, you know, we're all still working, so it's been a fun couple of months, and I think it'll continue to be a fun couple of months ahead of us. So please keep in mind, I know I've said it over and over, I'm a broken record, COVID is still very much alive. Start making your plans for Thanksgiving now. They're probably not going to happen in person. So I would start getting that in your head now, just to make it a little bit easier when the city doesn't allow big gatherings for Thanksgiving. And I know that sucks, but if people would have stopped gathering these last 7 months, we probably wouldn't be here today. So I know it's unfortunate, but I always say, you know, we all have to do our part to help each other. And I mean, if you want to be selfish and go out and have a great time, that's fine, but you're just delaying how long we're going to be stuck in this. So please, please, please just be smart and wear your mask. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Any other questions, comments, concerns, side notes, compliments? No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, it's a little early, but I'm going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and just say good night to everyone. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Remember, parks are closed. You can still walk, but you can't go have a party. So I'm sorry if you had anything planned for this weekend. Oh, let me just say one more thing. If you guys see, we get a lot of calls that are like, last Saturday I saw a party at Arlington Park. That doesn't do us any good because it was last Saturday. Those people are long gone. If you see something that you feel is in violation of the health order that is currently in place, call non-emergency PD and let them know it's happening right now, because they can send out a code compliance officer and get those people dispersed and cited if necessary. So if you see something happening, call right away, 832-4400. Just call and be like, hey, there's a party at whatever. Even if you're not sure, you're not going to get in trouble. You can say, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure, and they will go check it out. We need you all to help us with that because we can't be everywhere all the time. So that's, you guys are kind of, as Rep Morgan would say, you guys are the eyes and ears of the community. So please let them know if you see anything. And with that, I guess, have a good weekend, everybody. Don't forget to go vote. And yeah, we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I'll hang out here if there's anybody that has any questions.